June Kim was not special, or so he thought. He fixed machines for a living in Seoul. He could make almost anything work again with just basic tools in his brain. His friends called him Magic Hands, but June just shrugged when they said this. To him, it was just work. So when the aliens came to Earth 6 months ago, June watched the news like everyone else. He drank beer with his friends and joked about what aliens might think of human food. He never once thought he would meet them. Then, the call came. Mr. Kim, this is Dr. Hannah Park from the Global Space Agency. We need to talk about your skills. 1 month later, June stood in a room with 5 other humans. They were Earth's first team to visit the Galactic Council. Dr. Hannah Park, who had called him, was their leader. She was smart and calm, with short black hair and eyes that missed nothing. Remember, Hannah told the team as they prepared to board the alien ship. We are representing all humans. Be respectful, but stand tall. We have earned our place here. June nodded, but his stomach felt tight. He was just a mechanic. The others were top scientists, a famous doctor, and Hannah, who spoke 7 languages and had 3 degrees. Why was he here? The alien ship was huge. It took them to a space station that looked like a silver flower floating in space. Inside, aliens of all shapes moved around. Some had blue skin, others had 4 arms or eyes on stalks. June tried not to stare. A tall alien with gray skin and a head like a shark met them. I am Ambassador Thrax of the Voss, it said through a small machine that translated its words. We welcome Earth's representatives. The way it said this made it clear that welcome was not quite true. The Voss led them to a huge room. Hundreds of aliens sat in circles, each group from a different world. June had never felt so small. You will observe today, Thrax said. Tomorrow, Earth's case for membership will be heard. Hannah smiled politely. We look forward to it. As they took their seats, June heard whispers from nearby aliens. Such soft creatures. Still in their infant stage. Do they even understand what happens here? June felt his face grow hot, but he remembered what Hannah had said. Stand tall. He straightened his back. That evening, the council held a dinner. Strange foods and drinks were served. June was given a blue liquid in a glass that changed color as he held it. A ceremonial drink, explained a friendly alien with orange fur. It shows respect. June sipped it carefully. It tasted like sweet metal. Across the room, Hannah was talking with important-looking aliens. She was good at this. June was not. He moved to a quiet corner, watching the strange mix of creatures. Ambassador Thrax approached Hannah. Even from across the room, June could see the Voss was not being friendly. Humans are too young to join the council, Thrax was saying loudly. You barely left your planet 50 years ago. Some races here have been traveling space for thousands of years. Age does not always equal wisdom, Hannah replied calmly. Humans have much to offer. Thrax made a sound like rocks falling. It might have been a laugh. Like what? What can humans do that the Voss cannot do better? We have mastered science your people cannot even understand. Before Hannah could answer, a loud alarm started blaring. Red lights flashed. Aliens began moving quickly, some pushing to get out. What's happening? June asked the orange alien next to him. Gravitational stabilizer failure, it said, eyes wide with fear. If it fails completely, the station will be pulled into the moon. We must get to escape pods. The room was now in chaos. June pushed through the crowd to reach Hannah. Dr. Park, what's going on? Hannah was listening to a small group of alien officials. Their translator machines were all talking at once. The main stabilizer is failing, she told June. They're saying, there's not enough time to fix it. They're starting evacuation, but they estimate only 30% will survive. June looked around. Through a large window, he could see aliens rushing to a section of the station marked with strange symbols. What's that area? He asked. The engineering section, Hannah said. But they say humans aren't allowed. The radiation levels are too high for us. June watched as alien engineers ran in and out of the section, looking more panicked each time. What's the problem with the stabilizer? Did they say? Hana asked the officials, then turned back to June. They say the primary coolant system failed, causing a cascade failure in the gravitational field generator. The backup systems can't handle the load. June thought for a moment. That sounds like a pressure problem. If the coolant can't flow properly, everything overheats. He had fixed similar issues in factory cooling systems. The principles were probably the same, just bigger. June looked at the engineering section again. The aliens were arguing now, pointing at screens. They're overthinking it, he muttered. A plan formed in his mind. It was risky, maybe stupid, but if he was right. June, we need to get to the escape pods, Hana said, touching his arm. The council members are already boarding. June handed her his ceremonial drink. I think I can fix this. Hold my beer. What? June, you can't go in there, the radiation. But June was already moving toward the engineering section. He heard Hana calling after him, but he didn't stop. 2 Voss guards blocked the entrance. No humans allowed. Radiation danger, one said. I can help, June insisted. I know how to fix the stabilizer. The guards looked at each other, then at the chaos around them. An older Voss in a different uniform approached. Let him through, the older Voss said. If he wants to die, that's his choice. We've tried everything else. The guards stepped aside. June entered the engineering section. The heat hit him first. It was like walking into an oven. Sweat immediately soaked his shirt. Strange machines hummed and beeped all around. In the center was a massive cylinder glowing blue-white. Alien engineers worked frantically at control panels. When they saw June, they stopped. Human, you must leave. Not safe, one shouted through its translator. I can help, June said again. Show me the coolant system. Maybe it was desperation, or maybe they were just curious. But they pointed to a series of pipes running into the main cylinder. June moved closer, ignoring the burning sensation on his skin. The radiation, probably. He didn't have much time. He examined the system quickly. It was advanced, yes, but the problem was simple. A valve was stuck, causing pressure to build in the wrong place. The aliens had been trying to fix the computer systems, but they needed to fix the physical problem first. I need tools, he said. A small maintenance robot approached. It had various tools attached to its body. June selected something like a wrench and moved to the pipe system. No, too dangerous, an engineer shouted. June ignored them. He'd been told that all his life. Too dangerous. Not possible. Can't be. Done. He reached into the hot pipes, found the stuck valve, and began to turn it with the wrench. Pain shot through his hands, but he kept going. With a loud hiss, the valve turned. Steam burst out. Then the system began to normalize. The blue-white glow of the cylinder stabilized. June stepped back, his hands red and blistered. The alarm suddenly stopped. An announcement came over the speakers in multiple languages. Gravitational stabilizer restored to function. Emergency. Over. Return to normal activities. The alien engineers stared at June in silence. Then one spoke. How did you know? June shrugged. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. He walked out of the engineering section, his head light from the radiation exposure. Medical help would be good soon. He found Hana in the main hall, still holding his drink. Her eyes were wide. June, are you okay? What did you do? June took his drink back and sipped it. It tasted even better now. Fixed it, he said simply. Can I have my beer back? Around them, aliens were watching, whispering. But this time the whispers sounded different. The human fixed it? Impossible. What are these creatures? Hana smiled at June. For the first time, he felt like he knew why he had been chosen to. Tomorrow at the council meeting would be very interesting. The next morning, June woke up in the medical bay. His hands were wrapped in clear gel that took away the pain from his burns. A doctor with blue skin and 4 eyes checked a screen next to his bed. You are lucky, the alien doctor said. The radiation exposure was not fatal, but it was very foolish. June sat up slowly. Did it work? Is the station safe? The doctor nodded. Yes, the stabilizer is functioning correctly now. The council meeting will begin in 1 hour. When June entered the great council chamber, The room went quiet. Hundreds of alien eyes turned to look at him. Hana came to meet him at the door. "How do you feel?" she asked. "Better," June said. "The burns are healing fast with their medicine." Hana smiled. "Good, because you're the star of today's meeting." She led him to the human section where the rest of the Earth team sat. As they walked, June noticed something strange. The aliens weren't whispering about primitive humans anymore. Some were pointing at him with what looked like respect. Ambassador Thrax stood at the center of the room. The Voss looked less proud today. "The council meeting will now begin," Thrax announced. "First, we will address the events of last night. The human called June Kim entered a restricted area and performed an unauthorized repair on our gravitational stabilizer." Murmurs filled the room. June felt his stomach tighten again. "Am I in trouble?" he whispered to Hana. Before she could answer, another alien stood up. This one had skin like golden scales and a long neck. "The human saved this station," the golden alien said. "Without his action, many of us would be dead." The Voss engineers had no solution. Thrax's shark-like face showed no expression, but his voice was cold. The human took a risk that could have made things worse. He had no authorization. Now a third alien stood. This was the older Voss who had let June into the engineering section. "I am Chief Engineer Malk," he said. "I allowed the human to enter. After our systems failed, what did we have to lose?" Malk turned to look at June. "I would like to know how the human solved the problem." All eyes turned to June. He swallowed hard. "Stand tall," Hana whispered. "Tell them." June stood up. His voice shook a little at first, but grew stronger as he spoke. "The main problem wasn't in your computers," he said. "It was a simple mechanical issue. A pressure valve was stuck. Your coolant couldn't flow properly. I just turned the valve, manually." Malk's head tilted to one side. "But the manual override was behind the radiation shield. Our calculations showed that any organic being would suffer fatal exposure before completing the repair." June shrugged. "I figured I had to try. Anyway, sometimes you have to take a risk." The golden alien spoke again. "What made you think of this solution when our best engineers did not?" "Well," June said, thinking about it, "I noticed your engineers were all working on the computer systems, but sometimes the problem isn't in the software, it's in the hardware. I fix machines all day. When something breaks, I check the simplest things first." A new voice spoke up. This alien looked like a tall insect with green eyes. "And what did you mean when you said, 'Hold my beer' to your leader?" June felt his face grow warm. "Oh, that's just a human saying. It means, well, it means I'm about to do something that might be crazy but could work." Hana stood up beside June. "If I may explain," she said. "In human culture, 'hold my beer' is a phrase that often comes before a moment of creative problem-solving or brave action. It signifies that a human is about to attempt something difficult or dangerous that others might think impossible." The council room was quiet as the aliens considered this. Then the golden alien spoke again. "This is most interesting. We have observed that humans often find simple solutions to problems that more advanced species overcomplicate. Perhaps this is why the creators invited Earth to join the council." Thrax made a harsh sound. "One lucky repair does not prove humans are ready for council membership. The test was scheduled for today. Let us proceed with it." June sat down, confused. "Test? What test?" Hana looked worried. "I don't know. They didn't tell us about a test." At the center of the room, a large hologram appeared. It showed a complex machine with many moving parts. "This is a test of engineering skill," Thrax announced. "Each new species must solve a problem to prove their worth. This device powers an ancient shield protecting a dead world. The shield is failing. No species has fully repaired it in over 300 years. Malk added, "We have tried many times. Our best solution extends the shield's life by 50 years, at most. But a true repair has eluded us." Thrax looked at the human team. "You have 1 day to study the problem. Tomorrow, your team's engineer will attempt a solution." June felt all the blood drain from his face. "Me, but I'm just the perfect person for this," Hana finished for him. squeezing his arm. You can do this, June. For the rest of the day, June studied the hologram of the ancient machine. The other humans helped, but even Earth's best scientists were puzzled. The technology is far beyond ours, one said. It uses principles we haven't discovered yet, said another. June barely heard them. He was lost in the moving parts of the hologram, watching how everything connected. The machine was complex, yes, but all machines followed rules. Energy flowed in paths. Pressure built and released. Heat moved from hot areas to cold ones. By evening, his eyes burned from staring at the hologram for so long. The other humans had gone to sleep. Only Hannah remained, sitting quietly nearby. You should rest too, she said. June rubbed his eyes. I think I see the problem, but I'm not sure of the solution yet. What is it? The machine uses some kind of energy we don't have on Earth. But the principle is still familiar. It's like water flowing through pipes. There's a blockage somewhere, and the aliens keep trying to force more energy through instead of clearing the block. Hannah smiled. That sounds like yesterday's problem. Yes, but bigger and more complex. June yawned. You're right. I need sleep. The next morning, June stood before the council again. This time, he wasn't nervous. He had a plan. Thrax explained. The rules. You will have access to all tools and materials. You have 2 hours to implement your solution. If you fail, Earth's membership will be denied. June nodded. I understand. The center of the room opened up, revealing the actual machine from the hologram. It was huge, filling the circular space. Parts of it glowed with strange energies. Malk approached June. I can assist by explaining any parts you don't understand. Thank you, June said. Then he walked around the machine slowly, examining it from all angles. The aliens watched in silence. Some looked bored, some curious. Thrax looked sure that June would fail. After 30 minutes of study, June began to work. He used tools that Malk helped him select, opening panels and checking connections. He found what he was looking for after an hour, a crystal chamber where energy flowed. The crystals were cloudy and dark in places. These crystals are blocked, June said. They need to be cleaned to let energy flow properly. Malk looked surprised. They cannot be cleaned. They would shatter if removed. June smiled. We don't need to remove them. He picked up a tool that produced sound waves. We can use vibration to break up the blockage from the outside. That has never been tried, Malk said. Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one, June replied. He adjusted the tool and carefully applied it to the crystal chamber. The blocked areas began to clear as the vibrations shook loose the built-up materials. When the 2 hours were up, June stepped back. The machine hummed with new power. All the crystals glowed brightly now. Malk checked the readings. Energy flow is at 98% efficiency, he announced. The shield will now last for thousands of years. His voice contained clear surprise. The council room erupted in sounds, clicks, whistles, and hums that the translator couldn't process. But June could tell they were sounds of amazement. Hannah rushed to June's side, grinning. You did it! Thrax stood silently for a long moment. Then the Voss gave what might have been a bow. The council acknowledges Earth's contribution, Thrax said formally. Humans are granted provisional membership. As the aliens continued to make excited noises, Hannah leaned close to June. I think you just changed how the galaxy sees humans, she whispered. June smiled. All I did was look for the simplest solution. That, Hannah said, is exactly what makes humans special. 3 months had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. June Kim now worked at the Galactic Research Institute, a massive space station that orbited a star near the center of the galaxy. Here, scientists from hundreds of worlds studied, together and shared knowledge. June had his own workshop where he fixed machines and studied alien technology. The walls were covered with diagrams and tools. It felt like home. A small robot floated into the workshop. Engineer Kim, Director Park requests your presence in meeting room 5. it said in its metallic voice. June put down his tools and followed the robot through the long corridors of the station. Aliens of all shapes and sizes nodded to him as he passed. Some even raised hands or tentacles in the human gesture of waving. June had learned that being the first human engineer at the Institute made him something of a celebrity. In meeting room 5, Hana Park sat at a round table with 3 aliens and another human. Hana was now the Earth Director at the Institute, a position of great respect. "June, thank you for coming," Hana said with a smile. "I'd like you to meet Sunho Lee. He arrived from Earth yesterday." The new human stood up and bowed slightly. Sunho was shorter than June, with quick, bright eyes and a friendly face. "It's an honor to meet you, Engineer Kim," Sunho said. "Everyone on Earth knows your story. You're famous back home." June felt his face grow warm. He still wasn't used to being known. "Just June is fine," he said. Hana introduced the aliens next. "This is Science Leader Moro of the Quasar species, and Engineers Vex and Zila of the Drell." The Quasar was tall with purple skin that seemed to glow softly. The 2 Drell were smaller, with long arms and large eyes that looked sad somehow. "Sunho is also a mechanical engineer," Hana explained. "He has a talent for unconventional solutions like you. I thought you two could work together on some projects." June nodded. It would be good to work with another human who understood his way of thinking. After the meeting, June showed Sunho around the Institute. They stopped in a large observation room with a window that looked out at the stars. "Is it true what they say?" Sunho asked. "That aliens now use 'hold my beer' in their translators?" June laughed. "Yes. They can't translate it directly because it doesn't make sense to them. But they know what it means now. That a human is about to do something that seems impossible." Sunho's eyes were wide with wonder. "And they respect that?" "They do now. After what happened at the council station, word spread fast. The story got bigger with each telling. Now there are aliens who believe humans have some special power that activates when we say those words." "That's amazing," Sunho said. A soft chime sounded, calling them to dinner in the main hall. As they walked, June could tell Sunho had more questions. "What's on your mind?" June asked. Sunho hesitated before speaking. "The Drell from the meeting. They seemed troubled." "Is something wrong?" June's face grew serious. "The Drell have problems with the Voss. You remember Ambassador Thrax? His people control the Drell homeworld. They call it protection, but it's really more like control. Can't the Council help them? The Council tries not to interfere in relationships between species. It's complicated politics." June sighed. "And the Voss have very powerful weapons. No one wants to challenge them directly." In the dining hall, they filled their trays with food from various worlds. Earth foods were available too, a small comfort from home. They found a table near the back of the room. As they ate, a shadow fell across their table. June looked up to see the 2 Drell engineers, Vex and Zila, standing nervously nearby. "May we join you?" Vex asked softly. "Of course," June said, moving over to make room. The Drell sat down, but didn't eat. They looked around as if checking if anyone was watching them. "We need to speak privately," Zila whispered. "Is there a place?" June thought for a moment. "My workshop has no monitoring devices. We could talk there after dinner." The Drell nodded gratefully. Later, in the safety of June's workshop, the Drell finally spoke freely. "We came to the Institute for help," Vex said. "Our world suffers under Voss control. They take our resources and give little in return. Many Drell are hungry." "Why don't you fight back?" Sunho asked. Zila's large eyes blinked sadly. "The Voss have a defense grid around our planet. It stops any ship they don't approve. It blocks communications they don't want. We cannot even call for help." "We heard stories about humans," Vex added. "About how you solve problems that seem impossible. About your hold my beer power." June shook his head. "It's not really a power, it's our way of thinking," Sunho finished for him. "We look at problems differently." "Then will you look at our problem?" Zila asked. "No one else will help us." June and Sunho exchanged glances. This was bigger than fixing a machine. This was about helping an entire world. Show us the defense grid, June said. Everything you know about it. For the next week, June and Sunho studied the Voss defense technology. The Drell brought them all the information they had, which wasn't much. The grid was one of the Voss's most closely guarded secrets. We need to see the actual system, Sunho said one night, after staring at diagrams for hours. These plans don't show enough detail. That's impossible, Vex said. The control center is on our homeworld, guarded by Voss soldiers. No non-Voss has ever entered it. June thought for a long moment. What if we don't need to see the center? What if we could learn about the grid another way? Sunho looked at him with interest. What are you thinking? The Voss built a new defense system for the Council last month. I helped install some parts. It might use similar technology to the grid around the Drell world. Hope showed on the Drell's faces for the first time. Can you get access to it? Zila asked. June nodded. I have clearance to check all systems at the Institute. Maintenance work. The next day, June and Sunho examined the new Voss defense system. It protected the Institute's most valuable research. As June had hoped, it was similar to what the Drell had described. Look at this, Sunho said, pointing to a control panel. The Voss use energy fields that change frequency every few seconds. That's why they're so hard to break through. But every field has a pattern, June said. If we can predict when and how it changes, we could create a counterfield that matches it exactly, Sunho finished, excitement in his voice. Or better yet, June added, one that turns the field against itself. They worked late into the night, drawing plans and making calculations. The Drell watched with growing hope. Could this really work? Vex asked. In theory, yes, Sunho said. The field could be reversed to create a barrier that the Voss themselves couldn't cross. Their own ships and communications would be blocked, but not yours. But we would need to build special devices, June added, and your people would need to install them at key points around your planet. It would be dangerous. Our people would take that risk for freedom, Zila said firmly. As they finished their plans, Sunho stood up and stretched his tired back. He turned to June with a smile. This is crazy, you know. We're planning to use the Voss's own technology against them, the most powerful military species in the galaxy. He shook his head. If anyone finds out we helped, there will be serious trouble. June nodded. The risk was real, but so was the need to help the Drell. Sunho looked at the plans one more time. Then he turned to June and said the words that had become famous throughout the galaxy. Hold my beer. The Drell's eyes widened. They had learned what these words meant. They watched in fascination as the two humans began building a device that the Voss would consider impossible. And for the first time in generations, the Drell felt something new, hope. 2 months had passed since June and Sunho gave the Drell their plans. They had heard nothing since the Drell engineers left the Institute. Each day they worried that their plan had failed, or worse, that the Drell had been caught. Do you think they made it home? Sunho asked one morning as they worked in the workshop. June shrugged. I hope so, but there's no way to know. The Voss block all communications from the Drell world. Just then, Hana burst into the workshop. Her face was flushed with excitement. Have you heard the news? She asked breathlessly. What news? June and Sunho asked together. The Drell planet is free. Somehow they created an energy barrier that trapped all Voss ships and soldiers. The Voss can't get in or out. June and Sunho looked at each other, trying to hide their smiles. Really? June asked, pretending to be surprised. How did they do? That? No one knows for sure, Hana said. But the Galactic Council has called an emergency meeting. The Voss are furious. Ambassador Thrax is demanding action. When is the meeting? Sunho asked. In 2 hours. All Earth representatives are required to attend. Hana looked at them closely. You two don't seem very surprised by this news. June coughed. It's just as good to hear the Drell are free. Hana's eyes narrowed. June Kim, what did you do? Before he could answer, the small robot floated into the workshop again. Engineer Kim, Engineer Lee, and Director Park, your presence is requested in Council Chamber 1 immediately. The council chamber was packed with aliens from every world. At the center stood Ambassador Thrax, his shark-like face twisted with anger. Next to him was another Voss officer in a military uniform. "These are serious accusations," said the council leader, a wise old alien with skin like tree bark. "Commander Lox, please explain what has happened." The Voss military officer stepped forward. 3 days ago, the Drell activated an illegal energy barrier around their planet. This barrier trapped 5,000 Voss security personnel who were legally stationed there under our protection agreement. Our ships cannot reach them. Our communications cannot get through. This is an act of war. From the other side of the chamber, a Drell representative spoke. This was not Vex or Zila, but an older Drell with official-looking clothes. "The Drell have not attacked anyone," the representative said calmly. "We have simply created a protective shield around our own planet. The Voss inside are not harmed. They have food and shelter. They simply cannot leave or call for more ships." "How did you create this barrier?" Thrax demanded. "The Drell do not have such technology." The council leader raised a hand for silence. "That is the question we all wish answered. The technology appears to be Voss in design, yet used in a way the Voss themselves cannot counter." The old alien looked around the room. "Does anyone have knowledge of how this was done?" The room was quiet. June felt sweat on his forehead. Then, to his surprise, Vex and Zila entered the chamber. They walked to the center and stood tall. "We can explain," Vex said. Zila nodded. "The barrier uses Voss technology, yes, but the idea came from our studies at the Institute." Thrax turned to them, his voice cold. "You stole Voss military secrets? This is a serious crime." "We stole nothing," Zila said firmly. "We studied the public defense systems at the Institute. We learned how they work. Then we found a way to reverse the energy flow." The council leader looked thoughtful. "Is this possible? To learn such complex technology through simple observation?" Commander Lox shook his head. "Impossible. The Drell do not have the intelligence to understand our systems, let alone modify them." June felt anger rise in his chest at these words. Before he could think better of it, he stood up. "The Drell are plenty smart," he said loudly. "They just needed a different way of looking at the problem." All eyes turned to June. Sunho stood up beside him. "The Drell asked us about the defense systems," Sunho admitted. "We explained how they work. That's all." Now Ambassador Thrax turned his cold eyes on them. "You interfered in Voss security matters? This violates council law." Hana stood up now too. "Teaching is not interfering. Humans shared knowledge. The Drell made their own choices about how to use that knowledge." The council leader considered this. "Show us what was shared." June and Sunho brought up diagrams on the large screen in the center of the chamber. They explained their observations of the Voss defense system and the theoretical way it could be reversed. "We never built any devices," June explained. "We never visited the Drell planet. We only showed them what was possible." Commander Lox studied the diagrams with growing anger. "This is a direct attack on Voss security. We demand the barrier be removed immediately." The Drell representative spoke again. "We will lower the barrier on one condition. The Voss must sign a new agreement with the Drell. No more protection. No more taking our resources. Our world will be free, with a seat on the council." "Blackmail," Thrax shouted. "The Voss do not respond to threats." The council chamber erupted in loud arguments. Different species took sides, some supporting the Drell, others worried about what this meant for council stability. The council leader called for silence. "This matter is complex. The Voss claim protection rights over the Drell world. The Drell claim freedom rights as sentient beings. Both have valid points under council law." Hana stepped forward. "If I may suggest a solution, the Drell have proven they can now protect themselves. Perhaps it is time for the protection agreement to end naturally. The Voss can leave with honor, having successfully guided the Drell to independence." The room grew quiet as everyone considered this idea. It gave the Voss a way to back down without looking weak. It gave the Drell their freedom. It preserved council peace. After a long silence, Thrax spoke. The Voss are not unreasonable. If the Drell have truly advanced enough to create such technology, perhaps they no longer need our guidance. The tension in the room eased. The council leader nodded with approval. Then it is settled. The Drell will lower the barrier. The Voss will withdraw peacefully. A new era begins. As the meeting ended, aliens filed out of the chamber. Many stopped to look at June and Sunho with new interest. The story of how humans had helped free the Drell would spread quickly. Outside the chamber, Hana pulled June and Sunho aside. "What you did was dangerous," she said. "But I'm proud of you both." Sunho grinned. "It was June's idea." "It was both of us," June corrected. "And the Drell. They did the hard part." "Still," Hana said, "the hold my beer reputation of humans just grew even bigger. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for diplomacy." A month later, a new bar opened on the Galactic Central Station. It was the first human-owned business in space, started by a friend of June's from Earth. They named it simply Kim's. On opening night, the bar was full of aliens from dozens of worlds. They had come to try human drinks and learn more about the strange species that kept doing the impossible. June, Sunho, and Hana sat at a corner table, watching as aliens awkwardly tried to toast with beer mugs. "Look at that," Sunho laughed. "They're all saying, 'Hold my beer' to each other before they drink." "They still don't understand it's not magic words," June said with a smile. "Isn't it, though?" Hana asked. "In a way. When humans say those words, something does change. We stop thinking about why we can't do something and start thinking about how we can." Before they could discuss further, a loud alarm sounded throughout the station. Emergency lights began to flash. A voice came over the speakers. "Attention all. Species. A large asteroid has broken apart and is heading toward the populated moon of Xeris. Impact in 5 hours. All available ships, please assist with evacuation." The bar grew quiet. Then slowly all the alien eyes turned toward the table where the 3 humans sat. "5 hours is not enough time to evacuate everyone," one alien said. "The pieces are too large to destroy with our weapons," said another. "The humans," a third alien whispered. "Ask the humans." June looked at Sunho. Sunho looked at Hana. They all knew what this meant. June stood up. He picked up his beer and took a slow sip. Then he set the glass down on the table and smiled. "Well," he said, "I guess we'd better get to work." The aliens watched in silence as the 3 humans walked out. They didn't fully understand these strange creatures yet, but they were learning one important thing. When humans faced the impossible, that's when they were at their best. And that was something even aliens could learn from.